and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good people of the tube. Hope today, hope you're feeling grand and always in your world. I don't know quite what happened with the word tube then, but it came out in some kind of weird kind of Dave stuck mode. I don't get it. Anyway, hello everybody, and welcome to another vid. Today's vid, everybody, is about this glorious guitar here, which you can see better there when it's not in the diffuser light, 'cause it just looks extremely white there, but it's actually creamy. Anyway, this is a vintage V6 icon that was very kindly gifted to me by my very good friend, our good friend, Mr. Bob. So, hello Bob, and thank you very much for this glorious guitar. So, when this guitar came to me, I no longer had one. My V6, which is just sat there, I don't know, you can just see it. My V6 I gave to my friend Marjo, and now it lives down here in the south of France with her. It's now her guitar, it's not mine anymore. You give it away. So I didn't have one of these, and my friend Bob he had this one, and he wanted to see me with one again, and that was extremely kind of him, like he is, you know. So he's very kindly gave me this one. So when this came to me, it was an original spec V6, and I want to talk today quickly about what I've done to this and had to do to this to kind of like, you know, to get it to where it is now. So when it came, it had a 3-ply scratch plate, white, black, white. It was black finish, and and it was just kind of like, it was just a standard V6 icon. You know, it was just what it was. Anyway, I really loved it. I really loved when it arrived. I was playing it and I was kind of like going, I have missed this. I have missed the sound of this and the feel of this. And let's say, if you've seen the comparison video between these two, this one isn't quite as good as my one, but I think the only reason for that is because I played that for a lot longer than this one. I haven't had this one long enough to bond with it 100% like I did with my one over there. So, but anyway, I did miss the V6 feel. Like, I missed the sound and I missed it just in general. So it was nice to have one back in my life again. But I've never liked the aesthetic look of the vintage V6 icons. I've never liked the black with the 3-ply scratch plate. And I've always wanted a white. I always wanted a kind of off-white creamy colour one to go with a maple neck. I always wanted it to be more kind of 50s style, you know, Fender kind of thing, like, you know, like a Mary Kay, you know, kind of colour and that kind of spec. So that's what I decided to do with this one. I thought before I'm going to put that plectrum there. I thought before I kind of like bring it to the channel, because you would have seen it every now and again just appearing here and there, and obviously it appeared in the video a bit ago, but I've wanted to get it to where I wanted it to be, you know what I mean, aesthetically. Electric wise and stuff like that, nothing has changed. No, I'll tell you about the parts I've changed on this guitar, but electric wise, pots, selector switch, pickups, wiring, that's all stock vintage stuff. So the Wilkinson pickups, unfortunately they have the small pots, and the volume pot is actually dying. I'm going to have to buy a new volume pot soon. 5-way selector, and all the electrics are, most of the hardware is all Wilkinson. I'll tell you about what's original, what isn't in a bit. But like I say, the aesthetic of the V6 always really bothered me. I didn't like the black, and I didn't like the relic job they did on these things. It always bothered me. Which is why I started, and I always wanted a white one, like I say, Mary Kay cream colour. And which is why my V6 over there is refinished. You know, it was always white, that was. It was black for like maybe, what, half a month maybe? Maybe like, when I got that in 2013, I think it was black for maybe about, a couple of weeks. And then I sprayed it white for the first time. So when I got this one, I knew that's what I wanted to do to this one as well. I didn't want to leave it as the black stock finish, but at the same time I didn't want to strip the black off. So what I've done is I've oversprayed it with my friends Nicole and Marjo. I've oversprayed this, so the black finish is still underneath here, and you can probably see, like there's a dent there, So you can see the black is still underneath there. And I like the idea that it's going to wear through to the black again over time. I'm not going to relic this guitar. That kind of thing will just happen over time now. I'm just going to leave it as it is. And it will eventually go through. Because I basically, to refinish this, just use normal spray paint. But the coat was so thin. Like, there's barely any paint on this at all. It's so thin, so it'll wear fairly quick. Anyway, so when I got this guitar, I knew I wanted to customize it to be a bit more like a 50s Strat. So that required me to change certain things about its appearance. Because I love the sound of this guitar. I don't really feel like... I don't want to change the pickups. I don't want to change the pot, slate switch, any of that. I don't really want to change the hardware either. It all works. But I did want to change the aesthetic nature of the guitar a little bit. So, like I say, with my friend Nicole and Marjo, we resprayed this guitar. We took it apart and resprayed it. This off-white kind of cream colour, as you can see there. It's not white. It's kind of like an off-white. And I wanted that kind of Mary Kay kind of colour, where it's kind of creamy. It's not blonde, and it's not yellow, and it's not Arctic white, and it's not Olympic white. It's that kind of like... Yeah, it's just that kind of... I don't know, just cream kind of colour. Yeah, I wanted that colour for it because I love 50 Strats in that colour. So we refinished it that colour and it was amazing. And I love the colour. So the next thing I wanted to change was the scratch plate, because the 3-ply scratch plate isn't 50s period correct, you know. And I didn't really like I don't like, with maple necks, I like the look of a single-ply scratch plate. I don't like the 3-ply scratch plates on maple necks for some reason. It just really bugs me. Unless it's a 70s style Strat, but it's me being weird. So anyway, I wanted a single-ply scratch plate for this, but I had an absolute nightmare of a time trying to find one. I couldn't find a single-ply scratch plate anywhere, and it was annoying me. So eventually I just kind of gave up and just thought, oh, well, I'll just leave the 3-ply on and just have to deal with it. Until the other week, I was down at my friend Nicole and Marjo's house again, and you know they were just messing. They were sorting some stuff out, and we were talking about scratch plates, guitar geekery 101, and we were talking about scratch plates, and I had this guitar with me at the time, and I mentioned I always wanted a single ply scratch plate, and weird enough, my friend Marjo's Strat, which I have demoed, it's a 50s reissue, and originally came with a single-ply scratch plate. So I did a deal, and because her scratch plate wasn't on her guitar, and I did a deal with her, and I now have her scratch plate, and I've given her the scratch plate off this. So now I have a single-ply scratch plate. Yeah, there was so many uses of the word scratch plate then, it was way too much. Anyway, but I finally have that single-ply that I wanted for this guitar, and it's white, and I love it, and I love the contrast between the body and the scratch plate and the neck. Now you got the really cool kind of like yellowy maple, then the creamy body colour, and then the totally stark white scratch plate. I love that to bits. That's what I wanted for this guitar, and having that now makes me so happy. I love the way this looks aesthetically now. So that was job 1 done. So happy days. Yeah, well, technically job 2 because the refin was job 1. So job 2, single ply scratch plate. Job's a good one. Job number 3 that I wanted to do is like the vintage V6 comes with 17, 18, 19, 20, comes with 22 frets. I don't really like the look of the overhanging fret on a Strat. I like the look of kind of when it just stops at the 21st fret. So we cut it off, so it's no longer there. So that was the other job. Hacked off that last fret, just got rid of it. Don't need it. Don't want it. So then I was even more happy with it. I was like, yes, that looks right. That looks right. That looks right. Yeah. And then I got a bit silly, people of the tube. It got a bit silly at this point. So the string tree. Yeah, it got that silly. The string tree on the V6 is the usual butterfly shape string tree. So it kind of like, it kind of looks like that. So the strings kind of go between there and it pins them down. Because I wanted this to be more of a 50s spec Strat, the 50s Strats had like a circle string tree. It's not like the usual butterfly tree. It's like a little circle like that. And I have one of those. So I was immediately like, I'm going to have to put it on. So that's what I did. So it now has a circular string tree. So it got to a bit silly at that point, and that's where I stopped because I thought, come on, Dave, pull it together. So, but, I am so happy with how this guitar looks now. Like, aesthetically, it's exactly... I mean, it played, felt, and sang, and sounded exactly how I wanted. So I didn't have to worry about that. That was never a problem. It was just the way it looked. I didn't like the black. I didn't like the scratch plate. I didn't like the string tree, which is a bit weird. And I just didn't like it aesthetically as much as, like, I would if is like this. So, over a period of a couple of weeks, we've now got it to where I love it. So, and I really do love the way this guitar looks. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I love it to bits. It's got writing on the back from my friends who have doodled on the back and stuff. But let me tell you about what's original on this. So, tremolo is original, pots are original, pickups are original, obviously the neck is, frets are original, nut, machine heads, jack socket. So basically the only things I've changed really are the string tree, the scratch plate, the colour, and that's literally about it. I want to hacking off that last fret, which I don't really want there. So other than that is what it is. So you know, and that's what it is. And I love this guitar. Like, this is definitely one of those guitars that, like, I just have really kind of fallen a bit head over heels for, especially now the way it looks, because it's the way I want it to look, and the way I have always wanted the V6 icon to look. I've definitely love this guitar, like, ridiculous amounts. It's really, really kind of, like, gone up there, and, you know, and I'm learning its kind of its do's and don'ts. You know what I mean? Every guitar's got do's and don'ts, and every guitar's got kind of like things you can do with it that you can't do with others. And this guitar has got a couple of them, but not many. And I'm really enjoying it. And in all fairness, I kind of really feel very connected to this guitar, which is very, very cool, and I love that feeling. So I just wanted to kind of explain. I'm going to play out in a minute with this, but I wanted to explain what I've kind of done to this. Also, I've got gauge 9 to 42s on this guitar. 10s didn't really work with this guitar. It definitely felt better with 9s. The 10s just made it feel a bit stiff and uncooperative, whereas the 9s make it feel kind of like happy days. I would like to try with 8s, but I think 8s might be a bit too flimsy, whereas I think the 9s are really bob on. I don't want to go 9.5s. I don't like the feel of 9.5s and stuff like that. It feels a bit weird to me. I've tried them. I just don't really like it. But yeah. So another job we did when I got this guitar is it choked out quite a lot. The frets were a bit uneven, so I did fret level this. With my friend Nicole, we fret leveled it, polished the frets, recrowned it, and all is well. But I do love this guitar. These old and I say this is an old V6. This is from 2008. This one, so this is an older one. And yeah, that one there I got in 2013. This is an older model. This reminds me a lot more of my first V6, which I loved as well, but again no longer have. But yeah, it's really cool. I love learning how to to feel out new guitars. It's really good fun, and I love it. And I really love this guitar. So you'll be seeing a lot more of this guitar, people, with the tube. And I just want to do a video before I play it, kind of thing, because you kind of already heard it if you've watched the comparison video. But I wanted to kind of talk about what I've done to it aesthetically and why I did it in the first place before we kind of like get down to kind of like using it predominantly in videos and stuff like that. And it's got a great, great tone to it. It's a lot darker than my other V6, but I love it. The sound is very... It's got a real cool, nice, round, warm tone to it, which I really, really love. Yeah, it's just a great guitar. It's a great guitar, and I'll say massive thanks to my friend Bob again for this one. I absolutely adore this guitar, and especially the way it is now, I adore it even more. And like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing how it will start to wear and age. And I say it's starting to get dints and dents and chips and stuff, and I'm starting to scratch the finish where I play and stuff. So it'd be very interesting to see how this kind of like cracks on in age as the year. Well, as this year comes to an end, well, as this year begins, sorry. Oh my god, he's a clever boy, is our day. As this year progresses, it'll be interesting to see how this thing ages. So yeah. Anyway, without further ado, people of Tube, let me show you what this thing sounds like, and that'll be it for this vid, because I'm going to get a bit lost in it. So, yeah, these older V6s, these older vintages, I could recommend these. I can't recommend a new one, sadly. Just 'cause I think someone's going to ask that question in this video. I can't really recommend the new ones, but the old ones, if you can find them, definitely. I mean, this one's amazing. You know, it really is amazing guitar. So is that one over there. My other one was amazing as well. I just didn't. Yeah, they were there. You know, that one was with me for a time that I no longer need. You know, that one over there, and my other one was with me for a time I no longer need. Who knows about this one? Who knows where this will go eventually, or what's going to happen with this one? But at this point in time, it's with me and with me for the foreseeable future. And I love it to bits, and it's a great guitar. Feels fantastic, sounds fantastic, and hopefully I can do it a bit of justice today. So anyway, people of YouTube, I just wanted to let you know what's going on with this V6 Icon. I'll say modded now aesthetically, not electrically, but modded aesthetically. I adore the look of this thing. People of YouTube, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think it looks good, or do you think it looks bad, or do you reckon it's ugly, or you wouldn't have done it? Let me know in the comments below what would you have done. And yeah, I will see you again for another video very soon. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoyed what I'm going to play for you. It's basically going to be kind of the intro jam, but a little bit different. And yeah, I'll see you again for another one very soon. Have a great morning, afternoon, and good evening. And yeah, goodbye now. Thanks so much for watching. Ha ha! Okay, people of Tube, one last thing before I go. My brain is not here. Selector switch is broken. I don't really have a bridge pickup. So expect a video soon. We're going to have to change the selector switch.